A man is allowing his Twitter followers to control his vibrator. A topless clown is tormenting residents in the UK, and a teacher was put on leave after pretend you are a slave homework assignment. These are the weird stories for Monday on Weird AF News. I'm your host, Jonesy. This is the only daily weird news podcast hosted by a comedian that we know of, and the only daily weird news podcast recorded in a closet where it's hot, baby, hot all day.
Hey, mainstream news! Listen to Weird AF News with Jonesy.
A man is allowing his Twitter followers to control his vibrating butt plug. I know. Oh, technology. What are we using it for? Yeah, butt plug control. From afar. Pandemic life can be very lonely, as you know. A lot of us are feeling starved for a hug, for a touch, for attention, for sex. Won't someone touch my butt plug? But humans are innovative about designing new ways to connect with one another, to love one another, to make love to one another. An electronics engineer in Berlin who goes by the Twitter handle Spacebuck somehow created a butt plug that can be controlled by his Twitter followers. Wow. This guy is definitely out of work. At least somebody's getting their intimate needs satisfied right now. Spacebuck created a Wi-Fi-enabled battery called the Double O that allows anything that takes AA batteries to be controlled by the internet. He decided to test it out in real time on Twitter by linking it with his feed. Now, every time someone liked his tweet, the butt plug vibrated for 10 seconds. And every time someone shared it, it vibrated for 30 seconds. As of the writing of this particular article, Spacebuck's post has been liked 333 times and retweeted 115 times. Okay, let's do the math. How long was that butt plug vibrating? I'll say it again. Liked 333 times and retweeted 115 times. The question is, how many minutes was that butt plug vibrating? Do beebe do skana noo nee noo. I can't use the original Jeopardy theme because I'll be sued. It's 113 minutes, guys. 113 minutes of butt plug vibration via Twitter. Some of you at home probably got that right. Many of you didn't. Spacebuck is more about just having some isolated butt plug time with strangers. He says he's interested in exploring the paradoxical combination of intimacy and distance. This is an extremely intimate project, I began. One that involves me telling people about my personal butt activities. Yeah, a little TMI, in other words. He added that this particular project allows him to publicly be open about his sexual proclivities and social in how he pursues satisfaction. But he also gets to have the safety of using an anonymous persona. You might have heard the term teledildonics, which is being intimate but also remote at the same time. Spacebuck told the media, hey, and it's fun. I don't know about you, but if this is the future of masturbation, I'm here for it. Okay. Is it the future of masturbation? Just strangers controlling our products, our toys? I actually think that this is the product of just all of us are bored with sex. We've just, porn is everywhere. It's easy to access. And, with Tinder and these dating apps, even, sex is in an app now. You can get it in a minute, it seems. It's too easy. It's everywhere. And we're bored of it. And so we're just venturing out into these weird areas. Like, hey, man, control my vibrator with my Instagram account. It seems to be going in that direction out of sheer boredom. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you guys have an opinion on this. Call the show 646-450-2012. Pandemic, life can be lonely. A lot of us are feeling starved for a touch. So get on my Twitter account, baby, and control my butt plug. You know you wanna do it. You know you wanna tweet and play with my butt. A topless clown is tormenting residents in the UK. Yes, a topless clown in full circus makeup is frightening residents of a UK town who claim that this red-nosed individual is staring and laughing at people right in their face, freaking them out. Just last week, a clown approached a young couple that were delivering leaflets. They initially thought that, well, this clown's probably on his way to a children's party. The clown then stared at the woman for a long time before laughing in her face, leaving her frightened. She said, "He stared at my girlfriend for a minute or so and started to laugh like a clown. At first, I just thought he was on his way to a children's party or something. I didn't see him that clearly. We just knew it was a clown. We tried to ignore him and carried on doing our leaflets. We tried to pay no attention to this clown and see if he would stop. But as we got closer, he got in his car and opened his passenger door and asked me if I was someone that he knew. When I said, of course not, no, he started laughing some more. It was a scary experience for both of us, really. I went out last night and spent half the time looking over my shoulder. You wouldn't believe it." The clown also terrified a paperboy who was shocked. And I'll bet the clown was also shocked to see a paperboy in 2020. Anyways, the paperboy was so frightened, he rode his bike to a nearby park for safety. His mother said, "My son phoned me to say what had happened and kept the call going. As he approached Ploverdale, my son was hysterical. The clown stopped him again. Myself and his dad ran after him, but he had gone by the time we got there. Police have been informed. They've been informed." A spokeswoman for the West Midlands Police confirmed complaints have been received, many, but there is no reason to believe a crime has been committed just yet. Well, that's tricky. Is there a crime for frightening people in public? I don't know. I mean, there's got to be something for that. Isn't it called like public nuisance or something? You know, they have all these, there's so many laws. You think that you're not breaking the law because I don't know, you threw a Snickers at somebody, but there's a law against certain things. It's attack with a non-deadly weapon or something. They have everything on the books. This has got to be against some law. I don't know, maybe it's called clown-related mayhem. That sounds like a law. I'm stupid. But, you know, Halloween is close. Maybe this guy's trying to get a jump on Halloween. He's going to be a scary clown, and he's just getting some practice on. He's got some house parties he's going to go to, and he just wants to make sure that he's at the top of his game when he gets there. So he's working it out in the community in the month of September. I'm just trying to guess. The other thing that could be going on is this is just an out-of-work clown, and he's just, after a few months of isolation and no work, he's just really lost his mind. And he went over the deep end, and he's just roaming around in a state of depression and confusion. And he needs a party. He needs something. Somebody please hire this guy for your bar mitzvah. I don't know, whatever you hire a clown for. You know, the poor guy could be suffering in this way as well. You know, I mean, the pandemics have taken a toll on all of us. As a comedian, look at me. I'm telling jokes at work these days to coworkers. That's where I'm at. You know, just out of desperation to still feel like a comedian. This guy's just trying to still feel like a clown. I mean, he's doing it in a warped way, but, you know, maybe give him a break here. You like podcasts? You're listening to my podcast. Maybe you thought to yourself, I'd like to make a podcast. Too difficult. No, not with Anchor. Anchor has free creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast from your phone or your computer. Anchor distributes your podcast to Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, and more. They have advertising integration, so you can even make a little money off your podcast. Everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. And good luck with your podcast. Good luck with your creation. Good luck with your life, man. A teacher is in trouble after Pretend You Are a Slave homework assignment. An Iowa teacher has been placed on leave for assigning students to pretend you are a black slave. The controversial assignment asked students to pretend they were enslaved and asked what they would do if they were freed. Here's a quote from the actual homework assignment. Think very, very carefully about what your life would be as a slave in 1865. You can't read or write, and you have never been off the plantation you work on. What would you do when you hear the news you are free? What factors would play into the decision that you make from there out? One high school parent of a daughter who is black was very upset about the assignment. The daughter was unable to complete it. She cried and told her mother it makes her very uncomfortable. The mother says, no, listen, you don't have to be ashamed of who you are. You are beautiful for who you are. Don't let no one, no soul make you uncomfortable for who you are. The daughter, Aisha, is 14. The mother says there are other ways to teach children about race. which is very true. The mother added, the way it is in 2020 right now when it comes to race, you have to be very careful of what you can say and not say. The assignment has been removed, of course, and the teacher, part of the district's online learning program, was placed on leave. A community school district spokesperson said, well, the assignment was inappropriate, and the district does not support and will not tolerate this type of instruction. Yeah, of course, this is delicate. You can't teach such things to kids now. You got to avoid this altogether. This might be acceptable in college, maybe, but not for 13, 14-year-olds. You're just going to freak them out. Instead, a better assignment is pretend there's a zombie apocalypse and a pandemic going on at the same time. You're in danger of catching a virus and being eaten by a zombie. You have a shotgun and a box of shells and 4 cans of Spam in a backpack. Where do you go and what do you do? How do you survive the zombie apocalypse / pandemic? I mean, that's more useful, I think. You want to teach skills these days. The next generation needs to know how to survive such things because this is where we're headed, guys. Pretend the earth is on fire. Also, there's a pandemic. There's murder hornets. And mosquitoes are carrying malaria everywhere around you. And how do you survive? How do you survive that? These are the skills future generations need, of course. Yeah, it's tough stuff these days. You know, the problem is these teachers are paid nothing, and so you get dummies. I've said this many times on the show. If you pay bananas, you get monkeys, guys. So that's how that is. It's, of course, important to familiarize children with what went on in this country. And, of course, slavery, the Civil War. That's all part of this. The Revolutionary War. This is very important. You need to know where you come from to sort of get a nice perspective. And it helps us as we're moving forward to know where we come from, of course. But some of those episodes in our history are quite delicate, and therefore they have to be delivered delicately. They can't be done like this. That's just my opinion, and I'm not a parent, so if you guys want to call into the show, those of you who are parents, maybe you have an opinion on this. 646-450-2012. Yay! Hello, it's Jonesy, and I want to thank you for listening to Weird AF News. I want to thank everyone who sent me Florida Friday stories. And I hope you enjoyed that episode over the weekend. There were so many good stories out of Florida. I had to leave a couple off that were just amazing. I had too many to choose from, so hopefully I'll include those ones in next week's episode. But man, the news coming out of Florida just really, it's gold lately, baby. It's gold. You mix a pandemic with Florida, wow, what kind of soup you get. It's insanity. I love it. And thanks for sending me articles. You can continue to do so at funnyjones@gmail.com. You can send me whatever you got. Or you can send them to me on Facebook as well. It's Comedian Jonesy. And on Instagram @funnyjones, Twitter @funnyjones as well. You can also submit them through the weirdafnews.com website as well. And that's the website's new. There's some stuff up there like transcriptions and whatnot. It's like a game you can play. So check that out if you're bored. If you're a big fan of Weird AF News, you can also join the Patreon from the website as well. The Patreon welcomes a new individual, and that would be Sarah L., who joined over the weekend. So I'm so grateful for Sarah L. Big shout out to Sarah L. on the podcast. Sarah L. has joined the Patreon. Please, Sarah, enjoy the extra content that is available therein. And please enjoy that warm, fuzzy feeling that you get inside your core, knowing that you're supporting a 5-day-a-week weird news podcast recorded by a man in his closet. Because the budget is low right now. But we're getting better all the time. And with the help of Sarah L. and other supporters of the show. And I appreciate you very much, Sarah, for doing so. If you guys like to join Sarah L. and be a part of the Patreon, it's patreon.com/weirdafnews. Or you can click the link in the podcast description, or you can go to weirdafnews.com and get the link there as well. I got a nice message from one of my patrons named Sherry. She wrote me, she was very excited about the shout out I gave her. She said, much appreciated. I enjoy listening to your podcast. Very entertaining, Jonesy. I follow you on Instagram, and I left you a review on Amazon. Keep doing what you're doing, and we're going to get you to some of those weird festivals. Yeah, we're going to get you to some of those weird festivals. Yeah. If you don't know what Sherry's talking about, I cover some strange festivals sometimes, and I would love to visit these places. They're all over the world, by the way, these strange festivals. I would love at some point to have the kind of budget for Weird AF News where I actually go to the actual festival and participate, shoot some video, interview some weirdos. I mean, that would be great. I'd be like my own correspondent out in the world. That would be a good time. So thank you for that message, Sherry. And thanks to Sarah for joining, the patron. I think that's about it. Any other announcements? No, you guys have everything. You have the phone number. And I want to thank you for listening and subscribing and all that. Tell a friend. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow, of course.